Morning, folks.
Okay, first morning drive. We're out a little bit late. The sun hasn't risen yet, but it's definitely light. And we're slowly cruising up the Nossob River. See any caracal?
Sure. I'm on the hunt there.
We've been out driving for about half an hour now. The sun's just hitting the tops of the dunes. It's very beautiful, and it's very special to be able to drive around the Kgalagadi with hardly any other vehicles. I mean, there's one other vehicle from the lodge, and we've seen one other, I think it's a camper heading out from Rooiputs, but otherwise we're basically alone, which is fantastic. There are two roads up the Nossob River in this area. The one is the one we're on here, which is a small track on the Botswana side, which is meant to be for people staying at Rooiputs only. And then there's the main road on the South African side, which is that big graded area. So we're taking the smaller road in the hope that this is, you know, there are less cars driving fast here and we can sneak up on something. Okay, so we pretty uneventful morning. We saw a nice spotted hyena and then kept on going up to Melkvlei picnic site where we were going to get out and stretch our legs and have a coffee. But we got here and there's a whole pride of lions up on the hill over there. So we'll rather wait and see what they do before we start climbing out of the vehicle. What do you think, Andy?
Seems like a good idea.
Yeah. There's the picnic site, toilets and ablutions and everything. And there are the lions. And the waterhole here is just past the picnic site. So if anything does arrive at the waterhole, I think these lions are going to go straight through the picnic site, which might get really interesting. Well, that was fun. After we found those lions at Melkvlei picnic site, eventually they moved off and we tried to follow, but they went deep in, so we gave up and went back and had a coffee at the picnic site. Then we were heading back to the lodge and we saw a honey badger. It was pretty cool. We're sort of trying to get something out of a large tortoise shell and rolling around, and then it gave up and went and had a little sand bath, and then a jackal came along and inspected the honey badger, and then went and also the jackal also was trying to get some meat out of the tortoise shell. And yeah, so then it's what, 10:30, we're a little bit late. We got to check out at Rooiputs Lodge. Andy, it's the end of the good life, I'm afraid.
Good times are over.
Good times are over, and we're going to tow our trailer across to Rooiputs campsite and set up camp for the next while. Yeah, should be good.
Okay, I'm hoping Rob's going to get stuck so I can have a good laugh at him. Oh. Come on, Rob, get stuck. Okay, so we're leaving the lodge, heading just a couple hundred meters down to the campsite, and we'll set up the tent and chill for 9 days. Yep. Okay, Robert, go. Too easy. Oh, he's stuck. So close. He's stuck. What a loser. Sorry, you could have gone a little bit more.
Can we go a bit more?
We've got about 1.5 meters. You can probably pull it.
Let me try.
No, you're good.
We'll cut out all of this and just have it like, we'll just cut to this bit where it goes. Where it goes like this. Ka-ching!
Okay, we are ready to go. Our lodge.
That's the end of the very brief luxury portion of this trip. Now we are heading to our campsite, and we're going to set up camp for the next 10 days at Rooiputs in the reserve campsite. We probably could have had one of the main campsites, but then we would have had to move around as people arrived, so we decided just to take the reserve campsite, and then we can set up once and do it properly. Andy, you excited to get away from all that pampering?
Yeah, cold showers, long drops. Sounds great.
What the doctor ordered. Let's first figure out where we're going to put everything, because there's not a lot of space in this little under the shade here. Let's jump out and have a look. We are all set up at our little campsite here in Rooiputs. I'll show you around quickly. There's Andy napping as usual, having his beauty sleep in the afternoon. Trailer is all set up. We've erected a lion-proof fence so that we can't be surprised from the rear by lions. We've got the solar panel in the shade over there, as one is meant to do it, and then we'll make a fire over here in the evening, and we'll be totally safe from wild beasts. Because we're in the reserve campsites, we are a bit of a distance from the nearest ablutions, which are over there. All fine to walk there in the day, but I would be hesitant to walk there at night. So we have set up an emergency toilet situation. There's a hole. That's to wee in, because you don't want to wee around your campsite and make it all smelly. And then in the event of somebody needing to poopy, I have made the cheapest toilet ever. It's a cheap bucket from a hardware store. There's some toilet paper, 2-ply, only the best for Andy. And then I bought these biodegradable bin bags, fully 100% compostable, it says. So I reckon you just put a bin bag in here, do your business into that, and then seal it up with this until we have a chance to dump it down the long drop. And since it's compostable, I reckon that will be fine. There we go. You happy with that, Andy?
Yeah, delighted. Can't wait to try it.
It's not, I was going to get a pool noodle or something to line the edge, but I thought, well, the odds that we're going to actually have to use that are very, very slim. Only if it's nighttime and it's a dire emergency. Let's have a look in here. Oh, we've added a whole section to the tent here. So this is the extension that I bought with the tent, but we've never used it before because it's just a bit of a hassle and we're lazy. But check it out. There's like a whole area there. I think it's, show us how big that is. Massive. So I can set up my little table and do my media copying in there. It's really lovely. We'll have a nap in the day down there, and up there Andy's made our beds very nicely.
I've made my bed very nice.
Oh, you didn't do mine?
No, I did, but I didn't, spend too much time on it.
Oh, okay. And yeah, so that's it. We're pretty much organized. We took our time this time because we're going to be staying here for a while, so we could set up really nicely. It took us about an hour to get everything organized like this, but it was the first time we've ever set up the tent extension. It's called a Howling Moon Adder Room or something like that. I don't know. So yeah, we are having a little rest in the heat of the day, and then we're going to head out for a drive. That was some serious luck we had there. We were on our way out of camp and we saw a cheetah literally 100 meters from our tent. It lay down under a tree, and we sat with it for a bit and then thought, nah, this cheetah's not doing anything. And so we decided to drive all the way up to KK, come back slowly looking for caracal. As we got back, well, before the place where we had left the cheetah, we spotted it up on the ridge, just with its ears sticking out, and it started to hunt along next to the road. It was ran a little bit and then kept walking and walking and walking, and we followed it all the way along the road. Had a bit of a traffic issue with some other vehicles, but eventually they all had to go back to camp, and cheetah was being followed by 5 jackals, and then it went up over the ridge and stayed there for about half an hour. It looked like it was going to go for the springbok, but eventually they spotted it and started alarming, and it sort of gave up and walked off. But very cool, very cool. It's got some lovely shots and very exciting stuff.
Indeed.
All right, see you tomorrow.